أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم ففهمنا سليمان وكلنا آتينا حكما وعلما رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم سبحانك اللهم وحنانيك اللهم لا تنسني ولا تنسني الحمد لله أفضل الحمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله وسائر النبيين والصالحين وسلم الموفقني واهدني وسددني واجمع لي بين الصواب والثواب وإذني من الخطأ والهرمان آمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another episode of Questions and Answers. I'm your host Amjad Muhammad, and I'll be with you for the next 45 minutes or so up until 8 p.m. here Bradford UK time, dealing with your questions, your queries and your curiosities. The methodology is the same even though we're in a new year, and that is to phone 01274 214299. That's 01274 214299. Please do get your calls in nice and early, or you can choose to email, and the email is amjad.muhammad, that's amjad.mohadmmed @alkhair.org, alkhair.org. Okay, so that information is there on the screen for you. So the number will, obviously, you should know by now, on the screen. So obviously, new year, everything is exactly as it was a couple of weeks ago, really. Nothing has changed, I am assuming. Maybe you've made some silly New Year's resolutions which already you're breaking, or it's just a psychological thing that we get involved in. I remember I was giving out a receipt today, and I said, I better make sure that I put 2023. I better make sure that I put 2023. I better make sure that I put 2023. So I wrote down the 4th of December, 2023. So I got the 2023 bit right, but little did I realize that it's not December, it's January. So my focus was so much on the 2023 that I tried not to get that wrong, that I ended up getting the month wrong. Anyway, you just can't win, can you? Eventually corrected it anyway, and gave the right receipt. As this is going out live today on the 4th of December, 4th of January, I did it again, then just to let you know that on the 8th of January, here at Al Khair in Bradford, Ikra Studios on Manchester Road at 5 p.m, we will be having a session here on mental health and well-being. And this will be from an Islamic perspective as such, in terms of delivering a lecture and discussions and conversations on that topic. So if you are in Bradford, or if you are anywhere near Bradford, or even if you're not near Bradford, but say you're, up north, as they say, then please do get yourself down here at 5 p.m. If you haven't booked already, it's not a problem. You can book by emailing my email address or bradford@alkhair.org, or phoning the office 01274 214283, and you can book yourself in. If you don't get chance even to book yourself in, then as long as you turn up at 5 p.m. here, please speak to myself or one of my colleagues. I will probably be busy, so speak to one of my colleagues, and they will be able to take your details and get you a nice seat, and you can watch and engage in the presentation, which is mental health and well-being, an Islamic perspective. I'm currently training to be a mental health first aider, so inshallah I will have that course complete as well in the next few weeks, and therefore I can add to my Islamic understanding as well as my understanding from the kind of more, I've done counseling many moons ago. I think what we're talking, oh goodness me, what year was it? 2001. So I trained to be a counselor in the year 2001, and I've done counseling ever since. So I've been doing this for 20 odd years, alhamdulillah. So I've done already, and obviously an aspect of counseling is mental health and well-being, and this will hopefully complement that. So just a reminder that if you are around Bradford or can make it to Bradford on Sunday the 8th of January, then please do, as it will be a very interesting course, and it will develop your understanding and how to look after yourself what about your own mental health? What about your own well-being? We find ourselves stretched and hard-working than ever before. So please do attend. In the meantime, let me deal with some questions that have come on our group. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. When women travel with a mahram, does the mahram have to be in the same car, or can the mahram be in the car in front? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is not necessary that the mahram is in the same car as long as they are traveling as a group, so that they are stopping at the same time and setting off at the same time. Then yes, as long as that is the case, then no, there is no requirement to be in the same car or in the same vehicle. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you are in the best of health. I just wanted some clarity on the subject of car insurance. I'm looking to get car insurance as it is mandatory in the UK. However, the comprehensive insurance is cheaper than the third-party insurance. In this case, would it be better to go for the cheaper option? Also, my second question is, would it be okay to pay monthly? I think that has already been answered, but then for the benefit of everybody else, yes, you would go for the cheaper option. So if the cheaper option is fully comprehensive, then fine, go for fully comprehensive. It is, at the end of the day, you're trying to minimize this transaction, and by giving less, obviously, it is the best situation to be in. Bearing in mind that you treat this transaction more as a deposit rather than a purchase. So if you are with an insurance company, then it's best to stick with the same insurance company. So what happens is that if you're with an insurance company for, say, 5 years, and you have made payments of £5,000 over the 5 years, £1,000 each year, and you've never made a claim, and then it so happens in year 6 that you've paid £1,000 again, so now it's £6,000, and then your car gets damaged. Now, because you've paid £6,000 to this insurance company, that you are entitled to £6,000. So if you did make a claim at that particular point, then as long as it stayed under £6,000, it would be valid for you because it's your money. You gave that £1,000 and your £1,000 is returning. So it's best to think of it as a deposit, more as a case of a transaction. Obviously, that doesn't mean that you have to claim. That's only in the situation whereby your car has got damaged or something has happened and you are required or you need to make a claim. And that's why we always advise that if you stick with the same insurance company, then what happens over a period of time, the amount of money that you've paid to them increases. So whenever the unfortunate situation arises where you have to make a claim, then obviously that would be valid for you. The second question the chap asked is that, would I be able to pay monthly? Now, what sometimes happens is insurance companies add a premium if you pay monthly, meaning they charge some interest. If you pay up front, then it's okay. It might be like £500. But if they say, oh, you want to pay monthly, then it will be £500 plus an interest rate that's charged, because in essence, you've now loaned that money from them. You've borrowed that money from them. Excuse me. So what they'll do is they will charge you some interest, and obviously that charging of interest is impermissible. Yesterday, I kind of woke up and I had a little bit of a sore throat. It's paining right here. So I don't know, I'm sort of coming down with something. And today, so last night it was a little bit of on and off. And then I went to the gym this morning and I wasn't my usual enthusiastic, exuberant self. In fact, one of the chaps at the gym pointed that out. And when I came back into the changing rooms, he goes, oh, you've not sweat today? I thought, oh, brilliant. So now I'm being called out for not sweating. So I said, look, I'm not feeling 100%, so I didn't really push myself too much, because what I didn't want to do is then not come to or go to the gym for a few days. So I'd rather take it easy and at least attend regularly rather than going all out and then have to take a week off to recover. So yes, throat still paining, and it's coincided obviously with teaching. And as you know, with teaching, you're using your voice a lot. So madrasa started again on Tuesday. So literally 2 hours solid talking can also have an impact. So I always, whenever teaching starts, my voice plays up for a week or so, and then your voice kind of gets used to it, and then it carries on, mashallah, till the end of the academic year until you stop talking again, and then the same thing happens. Next question. Assalamu alaikum, Ufsab. When a person is going to Medina, can we tell him to give our salams to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he visits his grave? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, of course, you can ask somebody to pass your salam on to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So when this person presents himself and is in the esteemed company of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and he sends or she sends salam to the Prophet, then they can add that also there is salam from so and so or so and so. There's no harm in doing that. Like we do for the living, we can also do that for the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, who is deceased in the sense of as we are living and he is not, but is not deceased in the sense of the way bodies eventually decompose and are no longer sort of viable, alive, organic. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear Mufti Sahib, I pray you are well and I keep you in my du'as for this amazing and well-needed effort. We are undeserving of it. My question, I issued one talaq to my wife. Her iddah is also complete, so we are divorced. However, we still have the English marriage status. I'm being told that by starting the English divorce process, this would count as a second talaq. I didn't think so, but please could you shed light on this? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, I'm well. I pray likewise for you. And I ask you to keep all those associated with this good work in your du'as. May Allah accept our efforts. Ameen. With regards to your question, that if you started the divorce process through the English, then would this account as a second talaq? Yes. If you started it as the man, you are basically requesting the judge to give divorce on your behalf to your wife. And therefore you are deputizing the talaq, which can happen. I have written on this. I think you will find it on this particular group if you search for it. It is available. If not, please do post again and one of the admin will look for it. If not, I will look for it. Yes, so we are now entering the last few minutes of the first session. We've not had our first call of 2023. Maybe it might happen in the next few minutes, or maybe it will happen when we return. I know that people are still kind of getting used to us being back on air after the end of the year. Obviously, lots of bank holidays, and therefore lots of holidays, and people kind of get thrown out of sync. But not thrown out of the sink, but get thrown out of sync, as in S-Y-N-C, not S-I-N-K. But anyway, enough of the spelling. I heard Rishi Sunak wants to keep us in maths till we're 18 years old. I think I've missed the boat on that one. But if you are 15, 16 and you hate maths, well, guess what? You might be studying maths until you're 18. But anyway, enough of the English and maths. Just to let you know that we have a few minutes before we go off air for a short break, and then we will return. As a reminder, 01274 214299 in case you wish to make a call. Okay, next question. Assalamu alaikum, dear Mufti Sahib. I pray you are well. Another divorce question, please. A woman was divorced via English law. She applied for it and the husband just had to sign the papers. The Central Mosque in Birmingham said this plus the 1 year separation means they were divorced. So she started her iddah. Now 4 years later, I told her that she needs an Islamic talaq or khulla, as technically she is married. She finally got the talaq. I think I know the answer, but does she still need to observe iddah of divorce? Apologies for the long-winded question. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ameen. May Allah reward you for your adab and etiquettes. A sign of your own characteristics when you display adab and etiquettes of this nature. Yes, you are quite right that if the woman initiated the divorce and the husband just signed the papers, then he is not issuing divorce to her. And the woman cannot deputize a magistrate or a judge to act on her behalf, because in the Sharia, the man has the unilateral power to initiate divorce. Therefore, her iddah had not started, and being separated for 1 year is also not a talaq. What needs to happen is she needs a talaq in order for her to be separated from him. Once she gets a talaq, then her iddah would start. So in this case, when she finally got her talaq, whenever that was, then her iddah would start then, because the first had not occurred. And if that time she got the talaq and 3 menstrual cycles have already gone, then obviously her iddah is complete. Depends when she finally got the talaq, as you placed in your question. Okay, so we have another question. We've got a couple of minutes. Let me read the question, and if we have time, we'll answer it. If not, we'll answer it after the break. It's quite a long question. Assalamu alaikum. I just had a quick question, if that's okay. May Allah bless you abundantly. Regarding tasweer, what level of definition is required to make an image forbidden? For example, is a full body silhouette considered a forbidden image? Would an animal-shaped cookie, where it is understood that the particular cookie is an animal and may have a slight definition, like a dot for an eye or a line for a mouth, constitute a forbidden image? What about cartoonish image in which there exists no such creature but is understood to be living, like a cartoon dinosaur playing basketball? Note that I'm referring to full body images, as I know that partial images, body images, like just a hand or head that would not live on their own, do not constitute an image of a living thing. Okay, quite a long-winded question, and that has brought us with only a minute to spare, so I don't think I will have sufficient time to answer that question before our break. So we're going to pause there. We'll go back to our questions. Currently, we're just going through our questions, which are on the gents group, as you know, if you're used to by now, and if you're a regular viewer, you will know that when I'm waiting for you to call 01274214299, then rather than talk about anything else, I deal with, as the show is questions and answers, I deal with questions that come into our Darul Iftar. That could be our Darul Iftar of Markaz al-Iftar wal Qada, or even our Darul Iftar here at Al Khair Foundation, and we answer the questions which come in, rather than talk about other topics. But we have now run out of time, so inshallah, please don't go too far. Maybe get yourself a nice brew, a nice cup of coffee, a nice cup of tea like what I have here, which I will sip on during the break, and then come back quickly, and then have the number ready on speed dial so you can ring in for the second session. Otherwise, I will carry on with the questions that we have on our forum, as we still have the ladies group to go. So I'll see you again in a few minutes' time.